What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist and WAAAGH! Sorry, my inner orc came out. Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1!
and today...
He scared the voice out of me.
Hopefully I scare something else out of you later. And today we're here to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH!
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Michael Howell did. He asks, do any of the Trader Marines hate their Primarch, like Typhus hates Mortarion? Yes.
Yeah, when it comes to Chaos Space Marines, there's no real, love or appreciation. You're pretty much doing it for numero uno, and that's yourself.
Yep, Karn hates Angron.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the big... Ahriman does not get along with Magnus the Red, right?
Yeah. Because he was responsible for the, I think it's called the flesh change?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a Chaos Lord, because that's what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Chaos Lord, odds are you don't like your Primarch. Unlike the Space Marines, who, are all about venerating their Primarchs.
Yep, that's the word I was going to use, veneration.
Veneration.
Next question is by Merrick Mooska. Now, this guy comments a lot on a lot of our videos, so thank you for that. He says, For the Greater WAAAGH is one of those things that make you somewhat happy it's Monday or Tuesday. Any chance to see this lore video about Quariel, Zeth, and other tech priests that don't like the Omnissiah mumbo jumbo? That would be great. So, he's asking us, have you heard of Quariel, Zeth?
Nope.
Yeah, so we'll get into it. Basically, it's exactly what you said. It's an AdMech dude who's not all about, the machine spirit and that kind of thing. So it's a very interesting topic. We'll get into that. And he's got another question. Are you guys hyped for the oncoming Nightcodex? Yeah.
Came out yesterday, right?
Yep, yesterday. So I'm really excited to use the Dominus class because, like we talked about earlier, he has the strongest gun in Warhammer 40K. So I'm pretty sure that's going to wreck a bunch of things, although it's only 12 inches, so you're not going to get to use it right away. You might even blow up before then, but just the thought of wielding the best gun is going to attract a lot of fire.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's going to leave the rest of your army, pretty much unscathed to go up and do what it's got to do.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about that model, but can you do add-ons to it?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you brought a bare bones, just that guy with that gun, yeah, that'd be a good way to draw fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on how many points, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes from Disabled Cube. Can one of you guys scream "Wow" at the start of?
Oh, I did that.
Spook each other.
Yeah, I spooked him. He got frightened. He got startled. He got scared. He got afraid. There's a lot of words for being scared. Synonyms. Thesaurus.
He pooped his pants.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Speaking of poop, this one's not about poop, but can the gene seed be corrupted by the meme seed?
The meme seed.
Definitely. The meme seed.
Next one comes from DOW234. What would the Necromorphs make the Warhammer... what would the Necromorphs make the Warhammer universe more unbearable? So I guess you're asking, would they?
Necromorphs.
Necromorphs are who?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I want to say Dead Space, which is basically zombies. There's already zombies in 40K.
The zombie plague is already out there.
Yeah.
Yep. Next question comes from Hunter Workus. On a desert world, who would win? The Death Corps of Krieg or Mordian Iron Guard?
Let me go with the Death Corps, just because I feel like they're a bit more brutal.
I can't remember which one the Mordian Iron Guard are.
They're kind of similar to the Death Corps.
Okay. Next one.
Zach Lesson. What would happen if Tyranids encountered the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise? They'll probably...
Tyranids?
Yeah.
They would consume them.
Yeah, they'll probably use the same, acid blood features to incorporate them. Because they already have acid blood. Right? Some Tyranids already have that.
Yeah, the whole thing too about I think aliens, isn't aliens it's supposed to be an apex predator?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the same thing, but the Tyranids are just aliens on crack because there's so many of them.
Right.
And they're controlled by the hive mind, which I don't think the alien people have.
Right.
Next question comes from KM. What is your major? I majored in color studies, so I am really good at determining what's going to make something go boom, what's going to make something sneakier, what's going to make something go faster.
Eating ass. And speaking of, Bunny Hop asked the question, is eating ass a way of life for demonettes? Not necessarily, no. It's kind of like a thing they do on the side. Like on weekends they'll do it if there's time. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them is just about hard railing.
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from TheFool06. If the Cookie Monster were a Space Marine, what Space Marine chapter would he be? I feel like he would be the World Eaters. Cookie Eaters.
I'd go with Ultramarines because he's blue. Lim Hoong. I think that's how you say it. Why didn't the Tyranids gain the ability to release spores when they assimilate the orcs, as it is one of the best advantages that the orcs have?
So it doesn't really make sense for them to release spores if they have a hive mind, because they want to keep the hive mind centralized. You want to think about it like ants. Speaking about ants, let's talk about Ants Canada, because he has taught us that their ants really, or the ants really like build a home, and out of that home, the children are like the centerpiece. Like in your house, the living room is probably where everybody gets together. Well, what does he call them? The chambers where they hold all the larvae.
Oh, those.
But basically, those are like that's the mecca of an ant colony. Same thing with the hive mind. Whereas if you were to release spores, you don't really know where the eggs are going.
Yeah.
Or spores are going. They're like flowers, and Tyranids aren't like flowers.
Right, because you need them to be near a synapse creature to act upon the hive mind, and if they're just all over the place, then you're just gonna have feral Tyranids.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be sneezing everywhere. Next question. Do you have one?
Dang, I think we're going through a lot of the same ones. Yeah, because I started at the bottom, you started at the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one that says, can the gene seed of a corrupt... Oh, wait. No, so that's the meme seed one.
Oh, I got one right here.
Okay.
YCCM7. So, if Necron wraiths can travel through time, does that mean that they all have a lounge where they can hang out at the end of the universe? Not my actual question, just a funny thought. Yeah, kind of like Rick and Morty. There's like a council of Ricks, but council of wraiths. And now on to your actual question. Are there a limited supply of Necron wraiths, slowly becoming endangered in terms of number? I imagine if you can travel through time, you can help out dudes from different time periods, but then it means that the wraiths can exist in any number of battlefields on and off. So, if you have a bunch of massive battles where wraiths get pulverized, does that mean that the amount of wraiths left in the total timeline of the universe just decreased? And slowly, because wraiths can pop in and out of time, any mistakes can add up and slowly kill off the entire species of wraiths? Or can they only make small jumps? Yeah. They can't just like travel to like the inception of like the Emperor and kill him before he can do his thing. They make really small time jumps, and for the most part they don't really travel back in time because that uses a whole lot of their energy, and their cores will run dry and they'll die. So what they tend to do is mostly just go intangible. They'll slip into whatever it is they need to do, either fix it or tear the insides apart and then slip back into reality. Okay. I talked about it in the Wraith video, so check it out.
Pretty cool. Next question comes from Alucard Tepes. Which Primarch would have the stinkiest poop?
Probably Mortarion, because he's like Nurgle and...
infested.
Yeah.
Next one.
This one's by Timothy Armstrong. How powerful would the Imperium of Man be if there was no ban on creating new technology? Pretty damn strong.
Yeah, because so I think what would happen also with that, or the thing that comes along with not banning new technology, xenotechnology would be able to be used.
Right.
And how we were talking in the last question. Like the Necrons have figured out a way to, break time, and just the regular laws of physics don't apply to Necrons. So imagine the Adeptus Mechanicus with that knowledge.
Yeah, it's unfathomable what can happen. So that's really what's holding back the Imperium, is the whole interspecies non-association, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like a lot of the like the warlords, the high lords, they're kind of out to help themselves instead of the Imperium as a whole.
Yeah.
So you'll have like, I feel like if there was no ban on like weaponry and technology and stuff, AI would be more prevalent. There'd be more interplanetary fightings. Like, oh, these guys are using Necron tech. Let's go raid that world and use it for our own world. So, yeah.
Yep. Next question comes from William Mortperg. Who would win in an all-out war? One whole Necron world versus the Emperor himself?
Now,
I'm guessing that's during the Great Crusade.
right, the Emperor at his peak, or the Necron Tomb World.
I would say the Emperor at his peak.
I gotta go with the Necrons.
Why?
I mean, after everything we've talked about, like, Necrons have the best technology. They've got wraiths that can travel through time and slip in and out of reality. They got necrodermis, which is self-repairing metal bodies. A lot of the warriors and like the main force of the Necrons, they don't have sentience. Like they don't have emotion, so they're just gonna be doing whatever their Necron lords are telling them to do. So they're not gonna get bogged down by like fear. They're not gonna run away. They're not gonna break morale. And that's a lot for the Emperor to take in all at once. I mean, that's just one man fighting against a whole world, so.
But he does have the warp.
True, he is the strongest psyker, apparently, of all time. So.
He could just go...
and zap that world out of existence. So.
Good question, though.
Yeah.
Last question. I have one from Xenoplays. Can Eldar or other races except humans have perpetuals or blind to the warp, like the Sisters of Silence? Yeah, I guess you can make the argument that all Tau
Are like blinks.
Are blinks, yeah. Well, they don't nullify the warp, but they are like not affected by the warp.
Right, they barely register in the warp.
Yeah. And then as far as like Harlequins and Eldar and Dark Eldar, no.
I mean, you got like the Phoenix Lords.
They don't use... They're not blinks, are they? Or are they perpetuals?
No, they're not.
Well, actually, he's asking two questions then, right? Because he said perpetuals and blinks.
Yeah. No, because Phoenix Lords would be like chapter masters.
Oh.
So yeah, they were, because there's not just one Phoenix Lord that never dies. Different ones take up the mantle. So.
Good questions though.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, simply comment down below. Question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first. I said that again in the beginning, which I'm not supposed to. Don't forget we have a Patreon. If you guys like our videos, you want to support us, sharing the videos is the easiest, but we also have Patreon, so it's a simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys.
That's right. Also, if we didn't answer your question today, check back the following days, because we do this quite a bit. So hopefully we'll get to your question then.
Yeah, with that said,
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we're out of here.